Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, the caster they call Ghost, come back to you with another 1v1 match on Forge, aka Hephaestus. Today we have a match between Slip546, spawning in as the blue commander, and Burn, Alpha2546. We got the 4-6 going on over here, spawning as the black commander. Now we have a 1v1 match. That's not what I wanted. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to get used to these new bars and stuff. We've got a global chat for the PA stats. It's fantastic, and I totally recommend you guys check it out. But we have both players actually opening with a double or single vehicle factory. We'll see. We'll have one going air and then another going bots. So really interested to see how this is going to play out. Of course, we do not actually know who's going to win this one. I just kind of click on the replays and then just kind of start casting as is. Now it looks like Slip546. We're just going to call him Slip for short. He's going to actually have a anti-air car going to be the first thing he builds, while it looks like Alpha's first thing was going to be the scout car and then a fabrication bot. Now he's actually opting to go with the air. He's going to go air, battery, and then factory, while it looks like his opponent is really going to just go straight very hard military and then just kind of continue with what he's got. Now I would like to think that we're going to probably see a couple more fabricators. Okay, so he's going to open with fabricators. So blue currently is going to have, technically speaking, more of a military position here. Looks like black is going to go for a more economic position, but he is going to try and maybe pick off a couple of these bombers with his fighter. Now it looks like on blue's side though, the scout car has found him, and does he actually see anything? He does see the fabricator, so he's going to know at least one location where this fabricator can be killed off, and I assume that's probably where we're going to see that bomber start going. Now we do see a selection mark, but we don't actually see anything. I think what he's going to do is we're going to see one bomber, two fighters, and then he's going to actually move out to try and do some damage. He's looks like black is just about to get the radar up, but we've got a lot of tanks out here out for blue, so black definitely needs to be careful, because if he isn't careful, we'll probably see a lot of damage be placed on his side. Now we're going to see the bombers fly out here. I think we're going to see at least one fabricator die. There is nothing protecting this poor little guy, and this bomber is slowly sweeping his way around. He might just find him. He's going to see him now. They don't. Nope. He's turning around. Okay, there we go. So we're going to see the first kill of the game as one bot falls, and nothing can really be done. Now blue has continued to kind of do this little slow push strat here. We see a lot of cards here. Nothing to kind of protect this back way, but we do have two very strong choke points here for blue that he does currently control. Now I think what he's trying to do, or at least in his mindset, is he's going to try and do a bit of a slow push move out, then take over the map, and then effectively just try and choke out the black player before anything could really happen. Now this bomber though needs to be very careful. He did get the fabricator, which is really good, but another one will take its place. You cannot kill all the fabricators, but another will fall, so that is now 3 fabricators that have fallen to this bomber, and only damage to the anti-air fighter. So far so good on the terms of black. Now in terms of economy though, we can obviously see that black is doing quite well. He's only at 69%. He is hovering around 80. I think that's just because of the production. But currently blue is really the only player. Oh well, now as I start talking crap, he hits 100% and he's totally fine. But originally blue was doing very poorly in the economy. There we go. He's going to drop it below 62% just because all of his fabricators have fallen. Now we see a lot of these fabricators that are still not moving around, and I don't really know what's going on with blue's mindset. He's probably a little bit panicked because of these bombers, and as you can see, black is becoming incredibly powerful in the air. He's got a lot of anti-air fighters and really nothing much in terms of a response here from blue. Blue really needs to get either a lot more anti-air on the ground, or maybe some in the air, but it looks like he's going to stick to this very strong land-based military, and as you can see, that's really going to pay off for him. He's got a lot of tanks just kind of everywhere, and in response, really, black's just trying to catch up at this point. Excuse me. And it looks like blue's going to start moving his way across the field. Now, if black isn't careful, he's going to be found out of position. These tanks are going to be in a really good spot, because these can move down here, and then these guys can just come up this way. Now, I really wish I had my caster tool, but that still hasn't been updated for this mod, but I will continue to complain about it until something happens. Looks like in the center of the map, though, we do have this army of black that's going to set up. This commander, though, is going to find these tanks, and I would assume we're going to see an uber shot here. The sand crab kills everything, and that takes care of any form of push that this that Blue was going to try and do. Now, looks like this army of black is going to continue to move out. Okay, so he does see that this units, and he's going to lose all these tanks here if he's not careful. I don't know why he decided to keep going with that, because at this point, black is in a very strong position here. We do have some flame tanks to kind of help try and ward off this army, and if black's not careful, he might actually be caught in the same trap that he was laying out for his opponent. And as we can see, there's a little bit of an exchange here. Tanks trading for tanks, some anti-air just kind of waiting for some bombers to try and make a move at them. But we do have an overwhelming amount of black units here now. Blue is going to re-rally all of his factories to come over here. That will eventually clean all this up, and I think he's going to try and make a move here. This will not be a good fight for him. The tanks do stack up nicely for him. He's going to actually decide to just back off. He might just take this tank for his, or this flame tank for his time. Doesn't even get the flame tank, and at this point, black's in a pretty good position. Economically, we see both players at 100. We see, if we look at units here, Blue is still behind on the Fabbers. The factories, he's actually down by 1. And just in terms of mobility, he's actually almost cut in completely half. And we just need to keep an eye on that, because it looks like so far, Black's actually going to continue to add on a lot more factories, while Blue has actually decided to go for, he has just started his air, which is really nice to see, but it looks like he's adding on even more energy factories. So it looks like he's going to continue to keep doing that while trying to keep control of this map. Now, what I would really like to see is maybe some docks out of this guy. He does have more fabricators, but as you can just see in terms of confirmations, I mean, he's just falling behind. His production's falling down, his economy's falling down. He's got a lot of units, but it doesn't look like he really knows what to do with them. He really needs to start responding to these really big playbacks by black. Now, it looks like he has decided to send out at least one tank, and one tank will be actually legitimately enough. He will slowly kill all this off if one bomber doesn't make a move. Now, black has a very, very big and very scary air army, and I don't really know if Blue knows how to kind of respond to this. There's, you know, two anti-airs. Yeah, it's going to do something, but as you can see, it's just 2 versus so many. And he will lose this extractor and fabricator. Looks like he's going to try and turtle up on this corner while trying to move out here, but this is just not going to do enough. These tanks back here need to catch up with these guys, and as you can see, there's a fantastic concave here for black. The units of black, though, moving past the wall here. These flame tanks might just get close enough to actually do a little bit of damage, but they do see the radar, and I would want to think that they need to focus that down, but it's okay. I guess he's going to just try and take everything that he can. He might just cut off all of these metal extractors. He needs to kill this turret off, though. That's a lot of damage that's getting put down on his units, and if he doesn't decide to do that, he's effectively just going to trade for absolutely nothing. Tanks for tanks in this situation is not what he wants to be doing. He should be trying to take down some of the extractors. There we go. So he's going to take out the radar. Looks like Blue's actually going to just opt to kill himself, which is kind of odd because I thought he had a chance. But in the end, it looks like it just wasn't enough, and that will be GG from Slip. Burn Alpha2546 will win this match, and of course, as I always say, guys, I hope you guys have a good day, good afternoon, good night. I'll see you all for the next 1v1, and please, 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 make sure you expand, and I'll see y'all later. Goodbye.